What's going on, you guys? Coming at you with another video. This time we are back in the Edgeworks Seattle gym, and there are a ton of awesome problems from this session. So hopefully you enjoy, and let's get into it. So starting out, we're going to be warming up on a green V2 with lots of jugs. That's what I love to see. So starting low, the focus of my warm-up on this problem is getting my hips nice and rotated into the wall, especially in this overhanging section. And as I work my way up to the vertical section, it gets a lot easier, but I'm trying to keep my arms straight. And there we have the finish. Awesome problem. So the next warm-up problem is a white V3. This one includes crimps and jugs for the most part, and also has a lot of really cool body positioning, which makes it a really great problem to warm the body up on. So starting low with a left heel hook, I come out to a nice jug with a left hand flag, come to a crimp, and then right here in the undercling position, I debate going over to the big volume looking hold, but decide to rotate my hips in and go for the higher hold instead. Now I walk my heel up, grab that far crimp, and then extend my foot over to the opposite wall, doing a little bit of drop knee action too, which is always really fun. So the next problem we have here is a green V4 on the same wall. Now this one is a little bit more technical. I actually thought this one was kind of tricky, but this one has a series of jugs and pinches and crimps and the whole lot. Starting down, moving over to a nice pinch, which from this angle I can actually grab as kind of an edge. So bumping those hands up. Right here I'm debating what to do with my feet. So I'm kind of going back and forth, and I eventually decide to go with the high foot into those crimps, bring their left foot over, undercling, and kind of work my way up. This one was a little bit tensiony, a little bit more tricky than I originally had thought, but definitely a nice V4. So bringing that high right foot and driving the hips forward to get the send. This one is another green V4. This one comes up to the side and eventually crosses over to another wall before an awesome leaf hold finish. Alright, so starting out, I really had to drive my left knee all the way to the left to get that first hold. Bringing the heel hook in, and then crossing over on these edges there. So I went with a toe hook beta here. I don't know if that was the best call, but it worked. A little bit sloppy. And then for the finish, kind of a dynamic move into the leaf hold. So I didn't like the beta I did the first time, so I decided to redo it with better beta. So crossing over, sticking the foot out this time first, then grabbing the hold on the opposite wall. And then we get the finish. Same beta as before. So I decided to take a break from some of the overhanging walls and try out a nice slab. So here is a V6 slab climb. This one was a little bit hard to read, but I decided to start with a running start, which seemed to work okay. Walking my feet over, this felt really awkward, I guess would be the right way to say it. And then I eventually decided here I would just kind of go for a dynamic move, but totally missed the hold. So from here, once again, we're walking the feet over, trying to really squeeze the toe back towards me and then open up the hips. And that time we got it okay. So a little bit too dynamic on that attempt. Once again, walking the hips. This is getting a little bit easier now. So this time, I failed the first time. I'm really trying to go for it dynamically, but it's not quite working. Alright, so this time, I try something different. I try going more of a stack approach, trying to do almost a mantle, and this seems to work better. So now I can get my heel up, lock it in there, and get the top out. Super sweet slab climb. Moving on to a black V7, starting out with a really tiny left hand crimp and a really bad slopey right hand. This problem was definitely more of a comp style, which I'm normally not good at, but I thought I would try it anyways. So figuring out here, using a toe hook, and then totally beefing that one. This right hand wasn't as obvious, so I was trying to figure out how to position my body to get it. And I actually figured out here that holding the arete felt really cool and really confident. So here we go for our first semi-beta understood attempt. Totally beef that. Starting out again. As I move over to the arete, the left hand I'm only really holding on with 1 or 2 fingers there. And the left foot was way too high. So this time, grab the arete, make sure to jump a little bit more up as opposed to forwards this time. And that made all the difference. These holds were a little bit hard to grip, so chalking up was good. Thankfully, even though my foot was too high that time, I stayed on and I was able to stand up and get the heel hook okay. Moving out to that other sloper, switch my toe to a toe hook instead of a heel hook, and then reach up to the finishing hold. But now I was kind of in an awkward situation, didn't really know what to do. I wanted to go out to that left wall to press against it, but it didn't quite feel right. So here I try it. For some reason I went with the inside foot, which definitely wasn't a good idea. And for some reason I thought that it wouldn't work at all, so started trying different beta ideas. So here is a kind of a toe hook smear, heel hook smear, then fumbling around up off the top, and ultimately come crashing down. So here's a heel hook beta idea, but that really didn't feel good. So once again, I tried to return to pressing against the wall, but my hips were a little bit too open and I wasn't able to rotate them inwards on that attempt. So here we go, grabbing the arete, pressing with the left hand. This was really feeling good after a couple attempts. So making sure to keep my left foot low. I was able to get the heel hook up and stand up with no problem. Chalking up before that really bad sloper. Switching it to a toe hook. And then here, able to get this. And this time I tucked my hips inwards, and that made all the difference. I was able to get it with no problem. So next we have a pink V6. Now I had previously done this problem, but totally forgot the beta, as you will see. So moving left hand up to a really bad crimp. Went into a mantle move, but that wasn't working, so I just decided to go with a knee and gas stone over to another crimp. So from here, I decided to move my feet out to the volume in an effort to stand up more, and then totally realized I had forgotten about the other pink hold here for my left foot. So once again, moving my right foot onto the volume so I can make that final big move. And there we go. Not bad. Next one we have here is a blue V4. I was starting my cool down at this point. So moving across the wave wall here. Got the static traverse. A little smear action there, tucking the hips in, reaching up for some little edges there, and then coming it into a nice undercling finish. Here's another V4. This one is a white crimpy V4. This one had some really cool body movement, and I was feeling a little bit tired at the end of this session. So moving up into this undercling, bumped my hands up to the better crimp, went for the high left foot, the back flag, just walking my hands up at this point, and there's the finish. This one felt pretty good despite me being a little bit tired. So the last problem of the day was a green V3. Once again, very compy, and I have no idea what's going on in that television screen. So moving out, bringing my left foot over, reaching that undercling, and then stepping back. From here, reach across to the sloper, hips in, kind of a dynamic finish there, but awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.